Hi y'all, today we're doing beef Burgundy, and we do have quite a bit of ingredients that's sitting here in front of us, but it'll come together and pull a really nice stew. We have some carrots, we have some bacon and onion, we have some fresh thyme, we have some stew meat, some black pepper, some garlic, some sea salt, some beef broth, some butter, some onions, some red wine, some tomato paste, and some flour. But before we get to cooking, we are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you want to learn a new recipe every week, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to cooking. Alright y'all, so we got a small package of bacon, a 12-ounce package of bacon. We're going to go ahead and start slicing up our bacon. That's the first thing we got to do. Alright, once we have that ready to go, we need to go over to our stove. Alright y'all, so I'm using my Dutch oven. If you got a large stock pot, that would also work, but a Dutch oven is best. We're just going to go ahead, drizzle in a little bit of olive oil. It ain't going to take much. We're going to get this going up to a high heat. Alright, once this has had a little bit of a chance to warm up, we're going to go ahead and just drop in our bacon. I want to go ahead and start cooking that bacon. Alright y'all, once our bacon has gotten a good cook on it, and we've rendered down a good chunk of that fat, we're going to pull the bacon, set it to the side. Then we're going to drop in 2 pounds of our... The idea is to get a good sear on our 2 pounds of meat here. Once we have a good sear on our stew meat, we're going to go ahead, pull it off, put it in the same bowl with our bacon. Now we're going to drop in 1 to 2 onions, depending on what you would like. We've went ahead and diced it up. Then we're going to take 2 tablespoons of garlic. Now we're going to let these onions cook until they start to become translucent, transparent. So once our onions have begun to soften up, we're going to add about 16 ounces of mushrooms of your choice, sliced obviously. If you need to add a little more olive oil, you can. Let those cook down for a minute or two. Alright, so once our mushrooms begin to cook down, we're going to add in about 3 tablespoons of butter. Melt that in real quick. Now we want to sprinkle in about 2 tablespoons of flour. Now we're going to add in about 2.5 cups of our red wine. Now we're going to add in about 4 cups of beef broth, 3 tablespoons of that tomato paste. We're going to take about a teaspoon of salt, 3/4 of a teaspoon of that black pepper. Now we're going to go ahead and add back in all of our meat. Then we're just going to dump in a handful of baby carrots. Now we're going to slow simmer this for about 3 hours, 3.5 hours, until that meat is tender. At that point, I will bring you back. Alright y'all, after about 3 hours of a low simmer, I also added some beef broth and water along the way. We have a complete stew. All we got left to do is go ahead and serve this up. It happens to be extremely cold and snowing where I live, so stew is amazing. But if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button down below. There's a video over here that YouTube thinks you should watch. And until next time, keep on cooking on.